So this is both a funny story, but also a giant beware. Okay? For you. Okay. All right. A mom of young kids. She's got 5 kids. Sound familiar?
I'm terrified right now.
She goes to renew her driver's license, finds out she can't. She has a warrant issued for her arrest. She is accused of stealing government property. You know what it was? Overdue library books. Overdue library books. Well, howdy, y'all. It is Chet. You're listening to the Daytripper podcast, and joining me once again, because you have demanded it, the always indelible, beautiful Mrs. Tripper, Laura Garner.
It's an honor to be here, Chet.
So last time I think I gave you 1 hour's notice before the podcast. I at least gave you a couple days this time.
You know, I heard about it, but I also just rolled in from working at a kids camp. So I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here for the people.
The people. It's all about the people.
I'm wearing a fanny pack. I'm ready to go.
She's in full on summer mom mode. But like the fanny pack's kind of become a staple for your wardrobe. And I'm here for it. I mean, I think it's kind of hip, actually. Yeah. It literally rides on your hips. So how could it not be?
You know, there's these crossbody bags, which are super cute and popular. The teens are wearing them. The tweens are wearing them.
Our kids.
I'm still tried and true to the fanny pack.
I mean, if you got the fanny, why not pack it? Like, right?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. It sounded kind of weird when it came out. All right, so you're listening to the Daytripper podcast. We're talking Texas. It's August 2024. Remember, like, subscribe, comment as we get this thing rolling. We love y'all's feedback, so give us live comments on the podcast on YouTube as you're watching or wherever you're listening. Right off the top, we're going to shout out our sponsor, Don Hewlett Chevrolet. And it's appropriate Laura's here with us because you just got a new family Suburban.
I did. It is incredible.
It's like a spaceship.
2024, all the bells, all the whistles. In fact, I just parallel parked successfully, and that's huge. And Cannon was like, yeah, Mom, slay. I'm like, it's because I have cameras in the car. Y'all, it's needed for me.
It's fancy. It's cool. Like the whole roof is a sky roof or whatever they call it, sunroof, moon roof.
Yes.
And we're back. I thought they had done away with them, but the new one has the screens for the kids.
And so helpful in the summer because you know we're tripping, you know we're going.
We're about to go to South Padre Island. That's a long, long trip.
It will be.
And previously, it had Wi-Fi so the kids could have their own devices. Mm-hmm. But this is cheesy of us. Like, if we're watching a movie in the car, it's a family movie.
Yep.
So, like, Swiss Family Robinson, all the cheeseball ones. Gosh.
Those are called classics.
They're awesome. He wrestles a boa constrictor.
If you haven't seen Swiss Family Robinson in a while, move that to the top of your list. It is so good.
It is good. I still think Pollyanna is kind of a dumb movie. I'm sorry.
Don't go there.
I'm sorry. I think I've only seen like a few minutes of it every time, so I haven't fully committed to that one.
There's a time and a place to watch it. And I'm thinking a rainy day in the summer is where you need to watch Pollyanna.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or maybe on a road trip to South Padre Island. So anyway, Don Hewlett Chevrolet is fully stocked on SUVs. The Suburban literally is incredible. Like, I don't know what more gadgets they can stick in a car.
I am excited to watch and see because they're always cutting edge. Like, bring it.
The whole console shifts back to reveal a secret cubby in it. And then like creates this space to where you could put like a backpack in the middle. I don't know.
It's very convenient and super helpful.
All right. So, guys, if y'all are in the market, donhewlett.com, lots of SUVs in stock, and they're ready to go. All those things like the COVID shortages, those are long gone. So, Don Hewlett has the cars to sell you if you're looking to buy a new, used vehicle, truck, Suburban, whatever. All right? Don Hewlett, together, let's drive. All right. Summertime. Man, we're in August. Like, summertime's almost gone.
Yeah, it's crazy how, well, I will say there have been some really long days, But as a whole, like the summer it's blinking by.
So June felt like, what the heck happened? Where did that go? July has felt very long for me. Has it felt long?
I think June was packed in with some fun camps, and so that made it kind of appear to go by. I don't know.
What is it about it? There's a science to it, though. Like July, I keep looking down, like we're out of July already, right? We're not.
Yeah, I don't know.
July
I don't know.
It's felt long. We're recording this at the very end of July, so that it can be ready to go August 1st. But we have a Garner family tradition. Every summer, at the beginning of the summer, we do the Garner family summer bucket list.
We do.
Explain to the people what that is. It's kind of fun because it sits by our living room, our kitchen table, here, like throughout the whole summer. So we see it all the time.
Well, we kick it off with serving ice cream for breakfast on the first day of summer.
Oh,
we
gosh,
do
we
that.
do that. Yeah.
And the kids will not let us forget that. They're like,
they start talking about
it
weeks in advance.
Yes. So that's kind of a fun thing we do.
We'll buy like 4 or 5 different types of Bluebell, sit everybody down.
And if there's, the seasonal flavor, we make sure to get that one.
We're suckers for the Bluebell. Like if there's a new flavor, like that's going in the freezer. We have no power to resist that.
Yes. And then when we haven't talked, sometimes we both individually have picked it up. And I'm like, I got it. Wait, I got it. So
I think that's happened with a few of them. Yeah.
So we kick it off with ice cream for breakfast. And then really, like, we just get a whiteboard, right? And we just start saying, if this is brainstorming, there's not a bad idea, so we don't cut anything.
Yep,
so
it all goes on the board until the board is full.
Yeah, and it can be ridiculous, but we kind of just go around the horn and we say,
we have some stuff on there that we're never going to do. Like, not this summer at least. Like, get a dog.
I do want to meet Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but like...
Probably not going to happen this summer.
We would love to meet you.
Maybe he's listening to this podcast. Dwayne, we can call you Dwayne, right? I mean, The Rock is like your public name, but we're friends. Yes. Dwayne.
Yes.
The Rock. Come on.
And, I mean, I want to participate in a flash mob also. I just don't want to
on that board?
I just want to be in a flash mob, people.
You're going to have to plan that one. I think that was like 2015. I don't know if flash mobs happen anymore.
They do.
I don't know. Maybe in Korea or somewhere like that.
I'll go.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, have a fun trip.
But there, from some summer specific things, definitely like surf lessons were on there.
Yeah, go to a water park.
Go to a water park.
We checked that one off.
Kid Boss Day.
Yeah. Kid Boss Day is that's like some people call it Yes Day. Yes. Like where you can't tell the kids no. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can tell the kids no, like if they're, let's steal a car. Probably not going to do that. But we make them all decide. We have 5 kids, so they have to decide beforehand and kind of make the plan. Right. And it's got to be initialed by us, and then we go.
We all you can eat buffet. That's
we put Chinese buffet on them. And little did I know, like Chinese buffets, like I remember, don't exist much anymore. Well, that was a staple of the strip mall. Right? Kind of.
I think it was. I mean, it wasn't hard to find them, 10 years ago?
Maybe longer. Maybe 20 years ago. I don't know.
But turns out.
There's one in Round Rock. China E-Buffet. And it was everything you could hope for a Chinese buffet. General Tso's chicken, Mongolian barbecue, pizza and chicken nuggets. But it had shrimp and crab, and we just let the kids go wild.
MSG.
And lots of MSG. MSG on the table to sprinkle on top of the MSG that's already in the food. It was wonderful.
We had a good time.
We did.
Well, I don't feel the need to go back anytime soon.
Within the next decade.
But we had a good time.
I think it was one of those experiences. Like our kids are like, we should go to a Chinese buffet. And they're like, what's a Chinese buffet? And we're like, oh, we're about to blow your mind.
Right?
It was good.
I think we did.
Yeah, I think so.
Good job.
I mean, when they look back on the summer, we did a bunch of cool stuff. They'll probably remember the Chinese buffet as like one of the top things.
I think so. So silly,
hey, kids,
right?
What did you think of the Louvre and the Olympics? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that Chinese buffet was awesome. Yeah. We're not going to the Louvre and the Olympics, by the way. Yes. Although that's on our lifetime bucket list at some point.
We rode some roller coasters. Mm-hmm. We got some kids out of their comfort zone with roller coasters. We got
some kids with some serious comfort zone issues.
Yeah, but we have some, daredevils too.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. We got both ends of that spectrum.
And I feel like just like you skydove with your mom, I can already think of the kid that's going to want to skydive with you. And notice I said Chet, not me, because we talked about that.
Wait. I'm not her mom. I know the one you're talking about.
Oh, did I say mom?
You
Dad.
said, well, I just skydive with my mom, and that means she's going to skydive with her
dad.
mom. Oh, mom. You just wait. It's coming. When your daughter turns 40,
I'm getting...
and you're 85, and I'm just kidding. No, but like, and they look at you with the puppy dog eyes, you're going to skydive. You're going to do it. You know you will.
Oh,
you know you will.
Keep watching, people. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. But that's been fun. The summer bucket list. We got a few things left on there. I got to smoke a brisket at some point. I haven't done that yet this summer. We got to go to the beach, which we're about to. Summer's last hurrah. It's a Garner family tradition as well. We try to plan a big beach trip at the end of summer. Like, let's officially say bye back into the school year, which is happening in August for all of you people with kids. Yeah. It's always kind of sad. Our youngest is going to go to kindergarten.
We're not talking about that.
Never mind. That's okay. That wasn't on your list of things Chet's not allowed to bring up in this podcast. And your list was long, and that wasn't on there. It was a very long list. No, I'm just kidding. So kids, summer is dominated by kids for sure when you have them.
Definitely.
Like, I mean, I've been traveling a lot, little trips every week, going to different places. You've been holding down the home, which I'm super appreciative of. But you know, it's always like, what camp? What are they doing?
Yeah.
Ours are like in strength and conditioning camp, and they're working out every day.
Yeah. I mean, I rolled in from a camp to be here. So.
Oh, we know the shirt. We see the fanny pack. We know.
Kids camp. That was so much fun. Man, it's a good time though. I think that, I do realize kids will grow up but it's kind of like, it keeps you young. I really do think it does.
Yeah.
So I hope we get opportunities to just enjoy our kids and maybe whoever the next generation is. And I don't know. I think it gives you life and it keeps you young.
For sure. I mean, we laugh a lot. We're going crazy a lot.
Yeah.
We talk to ourselves a lot. Our house literally is never quiet.
Or clean. Last night, I remember looking at you after dinner, like we were like putting dishes away. There were 3 people singing different songs at the top of their lungs in our kitchen and living room. Yes. Just kind of combined. It's precious.
Oh, so precious. So precious. And so was my yelling at them to please be quiet. That was so precious. Precious.
You're precious too.
So this is something fun that happened. We always do a segment, what you been up to? And I know what you've been up to, but update the viewers. What you been up to? Being kid mom. Being super mom.
I feel like I have. I mean, we're just I'm in all summer mode. So I think this week specifically, I've gotten a chance to work at a summer camp at a church and have had so much fun just getting to know the age group that I was with, which were 4th and 5th graders, and just having a fun time. We've learned raps. We've had a rap battle, done so many arts and crafts, and it's been awesome.
Oh, you got drug on stage today.
Oh, yes, that was a thing.
This is, it's church camp VBS type of stuff. So they're going to have shenanigans.
Oh, they do.
And Laura got voluntold.
I did. It was legit. Laura come to the stage and I'm thinking, are we going to do a song? No, we did not do a song. So I don't know if y'all are familiar with the game called Bean Boozled, but essentially it's where you have 2 jelly beans that look the same color, but taste totally different. But I'm not talking like a red jelly bean. It could be a cherry or a strawberry. It's like the red jelly bean could be maybe cherry, and the other red one could be Old Bandage. And so it's just a luck of the draw. You say 1, 2, 3,
it's
eat the jelly bean.
Worst game.
Y'all, it is something. And I'm kind of like, why was I chosen for this?
It's Russian roulette with jelly beans.
It really is. It's so fun. But turns out there was a yellow colored jelly bean, and it could have been buttered popcorn or rotten eggs.
No.
So I'll let you guess.
What'd you get?
One.
Did you hit?
Gosh.
Hit and
okay.
miss.
I got rotten egg.
No!
And it was one of those, of course, the kids are like watching every reaction because it looks the same until the flavor hits, right? You're like,
bad.
Chomp. And
so bad.
Anyway, but I wanted to be tough, so I actually didn't spit it out. I chewed it like a champ, and they were like, "What? Is it good?" I'm like, "It's absolutely not good, but I can take it."
Did you ham it up for the kids though?
Oh,
like
for sure.
And fall down, start convulsing, like whatever.
I think you would have done that.
Maybe.
But all for the kids, right?
All for the kids.
So
all for the kids.
It was great fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the craziest thing that happened to me this past month, I mean, besides the kids, and there's a bunch of stories there, but for the first time in Daytripper history, all right, it's been 15 years, we have had a running lack of sighting, so to speak, which has gotten so crazy that we even have a bet that we have amongst the crew. And it has been this. In 15 seasons, we have never come across a venomous snake in the wild that we weren't like searching for. We went to Sweetwater, found rattlesnakes, but we were like, we knew where the den was and we were with professionals and that doesn't count.
Right.
I'm talking about just like hiking around and boom, there's a venomous snake. And we've been in the most snaky of places in all of Texas.
You've even been told like, hey, wear boots in this area.
Yeah. We've been with Texas Park Rangers and they're like, oh, we'll find a snake today. I know exactly where to look. Come up blank. Never found a snake. And we've been, I mean, there's no snakier places have we ever been. We've tromped through the swamps. We've hiked through Big Bend in the evening, in the morning, whenever they're supposed to be out. Well, so there's been a thing. I put a wager that the first person to find a venomous snake that doesn't just like, oh, I see it, and it went under a rock, but like is there enough for us to film it and talk about snake safety gets $100.
Who do you owe?
And this has been standing for 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Once I realized we had never seen a snake. Well, folks, I'm paying myself. I found the snake. So we were at Marathon, which is out in West Texas. And I was with the Nature Conservancy at a grasslands preserve. And me and the lady who's out there, like the biologist, we had hiked about 200 yards into the wilderness, hiked about 200 yards back. I was on high snake alert, got back through the fence in the yard, took a step without looking down. Boom. I was inches from stepping on this about 4 foot long diamondback.
Oh.
It was
Diamondback
rattlesnake. It would I freaked, I jumped, but he wasn't moving. Like it had rained, so the temp dropped, and when it's cold, they're chill.
Okay.
That's like evidently when the rancher's like, oh, that's when you can grab them. I'm still like, I'm not doing that. No, thanks. So anyway, luckily he didn't even rattle at me. I jumped back. Luckily I saw him. I mean, if I had stepped on him, I would have been going to the Alpine Hospital. I was wearing boots. It wasn't like I was barefoot, but still.
That's
like,
that'll put some pep in your step for the You don't need a Red Bull. Like
my heart hit the ceiling.
Oh man.
And so I called the camera guys over. They're like, what? Oh my gosh, it's first time in Daytripper history. We gather around. He's just chilling and looking at us. And when there were about 5 of us around, he was like, all right, I'm out of here. And he didn't rattle. He just sort of uncurled, went about 2-3 feet away to his hole, bloop, went back underground.
Yeah.
Peace out, amigo. But it was long enough for me to talk about it. Like, look, here's a rattlesnake. He doesn't want to bite me. I don't want to mess with him. Give him his space, and it's beautiful. And then he went away and was like, all right, bye.
I'm really glad you didn't step on him.
Oh, yeah. You might have that's that like necrotizing venom. So it doesn't give you a heart attack. It just rots your skin, kills it. So I probably would have been okay. I might have lost a leg, but there were hospitals nearby.
Man.
It's just a matter of time, Laura.
I've
often said that if I get to be an 80-year-old man and I haven't yet been bitten by a snake, I'm not living life right. Like I'm too protected.
Ooh. Okay.
Don't you feel that same way?
Come
on. Am I the only one?
I don't think I think that way.
Yeah.
And also, where do you stop with that? Like, if I haven't been bitten by a shark outside of a shark tank.
We had a close encounter with a shark in Gulf Shores, Alabama. I mean, not like close. It didn't attack us. It didn't come at us. But
too close.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit too close for comfort.
That's right.
All right. Hey, speaking of animal encounters, let's go ahead to Meanwhile in Texas.
While you've been listening to this podcast, lots of stuff's been going on in the Lone Star State. This is Meanwhile in Texas.
All right, Laura.
Yeah.
I've asked you to find a crazy news story, and I think you found one.
So, okay, we all, we love animals, and we don't want to see maybe rattlesnakes. We wouldn't ever want our children around rattlesnakes, but there are maybe animals that are considered in the safe zone, right? Wouldn't you
Puppies,
say?
fish.
Puppies, fish, even some zoo animals that would be safer.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so turns out this sweet mom and her daughter were driving through one of those safaris in...
Well, like Fossil Rim?
It was Fossil Rim. Thank you. I needed
That's
that
one. Like Fossil Rim, Natural Bridge.
Yes.
There's a bunch of those.
So, and
we've done those with the kids. We love them.
They're so much fun. I mean, the ostriches can get a little bit close. They're a little more aggressive. So if you have
I've
the
almost
food
lost
right
a finger
there,
or two to the ostriches. The emus. The emus are nasty.
Yeah, emus, yes.
And ostriches.
So turns out they're going through, they're having a great time. Mom is like she's just nailing it, right? She's like helping her daughter have this great time. Plus, she's trying to get the pictures and, record it for memories. Well, they start feeding a giraffe.
Docile animal.
Yeah, like just the giraffe's hungry, they're safe in their car. So, feeding them the giraffe, and then all of a sudden, the giraffe wants a little more than just the food and grabs her daughter's shirt, lifts the sweetheart up. And so the mom is like, my
She's
baby.
getting attacked by
Yes. So, attacked. I like to think that
she's about to get carried off to a giraffe den.
No.
And get eaten by a giraffe.
So,
am I reading too much into the story?
You might be going. You're coming. I don't know. It's like part two of this story. I have to report. The baby is safe. The mom is safe. But the giraffe grabbed the child from the clothes and picked the baby up. And so as a mom, I'm thinking like, what in the world? Like,
what would you do?
Well,
what would you do? You're a mom, mama bear mode.
Absolutely.
Would you punch the giraffe?
I think you just react from your gut, right? Like, if it's a punch, if it's you just go. You go animal-like, and you get in there. So, man,
you want to see the mama's claws try to take my baby and eat it?
Yes, but that's terrifying, right?
That's pretty scary.
Yeah, again, I have to say everyone is fine, but
okay, yeah. I wouldn't have thought a giraffe. Like they're the friendly giraffes.
Never.
But you know what? They're like one of the alphas of the Africa savannah because they can one kick will crush a lion's skull. They can beat lions. So maybe not.
Clue.
Yeah.
I thought, maybe did the baby look small enough? Was it in the color of a giraffe? Was there this confusion? It doesn't matter. You fight for your baby and you get your baby back. But still.
I'm thinking it was thought the shirt was food and then ended up this is too heavy to be food. I'm guessing.
I don't know, but that's terrifying.
But hey, it brings up the question. All right, you're a mom. What animal would you fight to get your kid back? Which ones would you just say, I'm sorry, my child is dead? Well, like a grizzly bear. If a grizzly bear grabs your child and starts running away with it, what do? Are you going to go fight the grizzly bear?
You fight. You just fight. You react, and you have this superpower that comes out of you, and you win because you're mom.
All right, lion.
Yes.
Coyote.
Alpha mom.
Alpha mom. Any animal you're going to fight.
Yes.
Nile crocodile.
I feel like I'm alone. What would you do?
But I'm the dad. I'm going to fight. I'm just worried like you. You wouldn't go, Chet, the crocodile stole my baby. Go swim after it.
I would shout out things, and I hope Chet would be one of them, but there'd be other things I'd probably shout out.
It's reminded me of that story. Some dad was swimming with his kid. I think this happened in Florida, not Texas. And the shark bit his son's arm off, or daughter, and he went out and started punching the shark and got the kid's arm back. That's intense.
That is intense.
I don't know if they were able to reattach it, but
my goodness.
I would do that. I would do that for any of my kids.
I don't know.
I have to decide now because in the moment you're like, what are my odds of fighting that grizzly bear? You know, risk reward.
I know.
I got to decide now if I'm in that like situation, you fight the grizzly bear. You just have to go for it. There is no analysis.
You know, you bring up the word risk though. So it's like, I think that, you know, drive through safari, you're in your car, like that should be risk free. And so that kind of like scares me a little bit. I'm like, oh, have I done that? What have I done? What are my outs? Of course we've done that. So speaking of,
what's up? Shepherd.
Hi.
He's crashing the podcast studio.
Hi.
All right. Hey, Shepherd, question. If a shark attacked your sister, what would you do? Would you fight the shark or just say, bye, it was nice having a sister? There you go. Fight the shark, he says. All right. All right. Hopefully we won't have to fight any grizzly bears.
Oh, man. Yes. Or
Wolf.
Giraffes.
Giraffe. Yeah.
There's some crazy things that can happen, though.
That's true. I'm glad everybody's okay.
Yes.
All right. I found another news story. This is crazy. And this is a word of warning to you. All right. So this is both a funny story, but also a giant beware. Okay. For you. Okay. All right. A mom of young kids. She's got 5 kids. Sound familiar?
I'm terrified right now.
She goes to renew her driver's license. Finds out she can't. She has a warrant issued for her arrest. She is accused of stealing government property. You know what it was? Overdue library books. Overdue library books. She is now wanted. She owes the library $570.
I will pay it. I'm so sorry. I feel bad for her.
So she has a warrant. Laura, you go to jail for overdue library. I'm just kidding. Our library doesn't even have like late fees, do they?
I think I have received. No, I don't know. It's
all right.
A great library.
Anyway, here's the story. This is a true story. This happened in Navasota, and the county library had issued a warrant for her arrest. They had sent multiple notices. Evidently, she didn't get them, and so she was a wanted lady. She can't pay it, puts up a GoFundMe. Almost instantly, she's raised over $3,000 to help her out of this pickle. But when she sees the judge lifts the warrant, just gives her a nice slap on the wrist and says, make sure you return your library books. Supposedly, like, the husband had brought them back, but they wouldn't all fit in the bin, like the drop box. So he, like, had one in the, like, floorboard of his truck or something like that.
Oh, man.
Did you know you could get arrested for overdue library books?
I didn't.
Hard time.
I feel like if that's one way to go, though, like, I'd pick that. You know,
you get a mugshot, the whole thing. You
that's
get booked.
So embarrassing. Oh, I'm so sorry, Navasota mama.
I know. It has a happy ending though, but I didn't even know that like that escalated quickly.
Yes.
Like jail time?
Librarians do have a little bit of a.
You know what? They're sticklers for the rules. That's what it is.
I think so.
If it were anything else, it'd be fine, but don't mess with the librarians.
I feel like that could be like made into some story.
We
could watch that someday.
Yes. Amelia Bedelia goes to jail. Whatever. Dr. Seuss, the Cat in the Hat, forgets to pay his fines.
Yes. Oh, wow.
All right. That's a funny story. So return your library books. Watch out for giraffes. And now we're fast forwarding to the Texas Music Minute. All right. I'm going to start by reminiscing a little bit, Laura. You remember the 90s? We were both alive. You weren't born yet. I don't think.
I don't know if did I know you?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
What? All right. In the 90s, the Hollywood movie soundtrack was like a thing.
Yes. Oh,
it's kind of died a little bit.
Agreed.
Yeah, like
Trolls is a thing.
Okay, Trolls, but that's a musical. Like, there's a difference between like a musical and like the Batman Forever soundtrack.
Oh.
The American Pie soundtrack. It was like, regardless of how good the movie was, if it had a good soundtrack, everybody had the soundtrack.
Yes.
And there was one that came out that was like one of the best soundtracks of all time, and that was the soundtrack to the movie Twister.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I went back and looked at it. Well, all right, so the reason this is relevant, the summer blockbuster of the year is the movie Twisters.
Right.
And it just set some records. I was looking. It had an $80 million domestic opening, which is the largest disaster movie opening of all time. Disaster movie. I was like, okay, that's a pretty big qualifier.
Yeah.
80 million. You want to guess what the largest opening weekend of all time was? Like domestic, meaning in the U.S.?
Tell me.
Avengers Endgame.
Oh.
Made 350 million. So we're still kind of small fries compared to that. But it's still a big thing. Austin's own Glenn Powell is in it. He's a heartthrob. So handsome. So handsome. But they have tried to come up with a Twisters soundtrack that reclaims the glory of the 90s soundtrack. And I think they've done a good job.
Okay.
They've done a good job. So the OG, I was looking back at the OG Twister soundtrack.
Yeah,
it had Red Hot Chili Peppers, Shania Twain, Joe Diffie, Eric Clapton, and then the biggest hit, Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, I love Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, no. You remember the song?
And I don't want... No.
Oh, yeah, different. That was from another movie, though. City of Angels. Oh, that wasn't it?
I think
Again, killer soundtrack.
I think one of my sister I had.
It was a terrible movie.
But the soundtrack, right?
The soundtrack,
that's the thing.
Killed.
Okay, what Goo Goo Dolls song?
Long way down.
Oh, so good.
I don't think I'll make it. Me and my best friend Michael Baker went and saw Twister. On the way home, we jammed that song as a lightning storm was coming in from the movie theater. It was one of the most epic moments of my life. We were in his 90 Toyota Corolla.
Best life.
I mean, if a Twister had come, it wouldn't have even noticed. We would have been a tiny piece of debris in the giant Twister.
Oh, man.
But it was awesome. All right. So the new soundtrack is just as big. It's country, though. It's all country.
Okay.
Luke Combs.
Okay.
Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. That's a big hit. Thomas Rhett, Megan Maroney, Jelly Roll, Tyler Childers. Shania is back on it. And that's not to mention Texans like Miranda Lambert,
Sweet.
Leon Bridges, Flatland Cavalry, Dylan Gossett, Charlie Crockett, and the Texan we're going to listen to the music today. So he's a rising country music star, Tanner Usrey.
Hey.
I think the fact that he's on this album gives him some credibility because not just anybody's making it on this album. Wow. He's from Prosper, Texas, up in the Denton area. He sang all the time as a kid, and then in 2019 he kind of had his breakout with a song called Beautiful Lies. And his contribution to the Twister soundtrack is this song, which is entitled Blackberry Wine. Let's listen. Different than Strawberry Wine.
A little bit.
Or Watermelon Moonshine. Or all the other wine songs out there. Here we go. Blackberry Wine.
Blackberry wine on a Saturday night. Said spoonful of sugar gonna make you feel fine. And that woman, she drives me out of my mind with blackberry wine on a Saturday night, yeah. She got long tan legs, her feet on the dash. With her eyes on mine and her hand on my lap. She said, stop going slow, I wanna go fast. Put the hammer down and hit the gas. And I say, oh, where we going, mama? She says, I don't care anywhere but here. I say, oh, don't you stop now, woman. Put the pedal to the metal, I'll shift the gears. Put the pedal to the metal, I'll shift the gears. Woo.
It's the kind of song you want to chase tornadoes to.
I like it.
It's good. It's got to get a little shuffling beat. Like, it's a pretty raucous song.
Yeah. I feel like we need to go buy the CD.
You don't even have a CD player.
I do. I found it, and I do have one. And a CD is a compact disc, if you're
For
wondering.
the youngsters out there.
Although I asked Chet what VHS stood for, and he could not remember.
I could not
that item.
remember. Video home system? Video at home system?
Sounds great.
I couldn't believe I didn't know that. But yeah, but if you go buy the CD, you're just going to look at it?
I
Read the little book at
know.
night before you go to bed?
I don't know. I feel like I need it. I want it.
We put it in the collection right next to the original Twister CD, which you probably have in a box somewhere.
We can find it.
All right. Anyway, y'all look up Tanner Usrey, and he's touring around. He's kind of blowing up right now, and he's a Texan. Y'all support Texas music. It's the best. All right, mid-podcast break for one of our sponsors. Did you know that Colin County... Well, let me ask you a question before we get into it. What would you rather live without in life?
Ooh.
Air conditioning or ice? Which one do you think which one would be easier?
I could live without ice.
You think? Mm-hmm. What about an ice box?
Well, what's my other thing?
Air conditioning.
Oh, man.
I think if you don't have air conditioning, you just stand in front of the open fridge and you get an ice box, I guess. All right, that's a random question. But Colin County's first shipment of ice arrived via the railroad in 1883. That's 37 years after the county was founded, meaning they had 37 summers without ice or cold drinks in Texas. And that's hot.
Yeah.
That's like crazy
it
hot.
is. Wow.
So we were just in Williamsburg, Virginia, went to Mount Vernon.
Mm-hmm.
George Washington had this whole way of harvesting ice from the river and storing it in this cellar thing.
Like a cave.
Yeah, and it made me realize like how much we take things like ice for granted.
Yeah.
And air conditioning.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like,
Man.
I guess they had to have insulated railroad cars that could get ice from places where there's ice. I mean, there's not even ice on the regular in Collin County. Like, it's not like the lakes and rivers freeze. And then get it down there. Man, we're babies. I think we're getting wimpier.
I would totally agree with that.
Yeah, we're totally getting wimpier. Anyway, Colin County is an amazing place. They have a history museum that's downtown in the old post office. They're running a Colin County exhibit right now about all the things that have come from Colin County. If you've been listening to the podcast, you know there are many, many things. All kinds of fun facts, products, businesses, innovation. And it's open Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, absolutely free. Y'all check out ColinCountyHistoryMuseum.org. McKinney is fun. Good times. They kicked off the Olympics in style in Colin County. They brought in an Olympian to do this like whole thing, did a thing about Olympians from North Texas and Colin County.
Wow.
The Texans are like representing at the Olympics.
Do you have a number?
I don't, because I haven't double checked since all the Olympic trials were done.
Right.
I need to double check, but there's a ton, even in all the obscure sports that aren't televised. You know,
Yeah.
archery or with all the shooting sports.
Yeah.
There's so many.
I feel like maybe next podcast we should get that number.
We'll give the medal count of Texans because they'll be done by next podcast.
Right. That's my point.
Yeah. We'll give the Texas medal count.
Are you excited about the Olympics?
I love the Olympics.
Yeah, it'll be
The
good.
kids are way excited about them.
Yeah.
So gymnastics, I mean, we'll be crushing that. Swimming. What's your favorite to watch?
Sand volleyball, women's sand volleyball.
Who is that girl? The really tall blonde girl, and she had a partner, and they would crush.
They always have a partner.
Mindy. Yeah.
Well,
Mindy something.
I don't know who's on the final team, but it'll be so fun.
But there was the blonde girl has gone through multiple Olympics. She had one partner, and then
Misty?
Misty.
Wasn't there a Misty?
Sounds right. Gosh, we
I
should know
know,
this.
I know.
And then she got a different partner last year, and they crushed.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, that one's fun to watch.
That's my main. And then floor on gymnastics, women's floor gymnastics, not all gymnastics, but floor.
I like
blows
uneven
me
bars
away.
better than floor.
Well, you're wrong. That's
Uneven
not
bars
it.
is crazy.
No, it's all fun. Oh man, it's just so they're hardcore. Like these are the best of the best. So it'll be so much fun to just see.
Oh, for sure.
How USA.
Simone's back. She's gonna rock it.
Yes.
I know she will.
Talk of the state. Talk of the USA.
She's ours. She's ours.
I know.
Texas.
That's exciting.
All right. So let's jump ahead. Questions from the back seats.
Are we there yet? Hey, can you pass me the snacks? When are we gonna stop? I gotta go.
Okay. This one came from Instagram, from Kirk in Texas. Here's my summer bucket list item: to watch Jaws floating in a tube at Valente Beach on Lake Travis. Are you brave enough to do it?
Yes, I could do that.
Do you think you could?
Yeah, with the right group. You would be in my group, Chet.
Okay.
I think that I could do that.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's always been like a bucket list thing for me. I mean, you're in a lake. There's no risk of sharks, but still, I mean, your booty's in water.
I know.
And I just think of the shot in Jaws of the shark coming up from the bottom of that swimmer. I know.
We should do it.
Yeah, we should do it. I think I would have a harder time watching Piranhas. You remember that movie?
Oh, that's different.
They were freshwater, and that thing attacked the beaches and the tubers.
I can't say I've ever seen piranhas, but that would be terrifying.
Okay, same idea.
Yes.
Just Jaws, but smaller, and lots of them.
Oh, right.
All right, so we're both brave enough. Why have we not done this before?
I mean, we might have been a little preoccupied with some.
Would our children do it? Some of them.
Some.
Okay. Jaws is kind of slow, though. I mean, it really is. It's a little bit. It's got big, exciting parts and a lot of drama.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of like tense. Dun,
Yeah.
dun,
The build.
dun, 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 dun,
With
dun. Yeah.
the music. The music is everything in movies
Everything.
like that.
Everything.
Yes.
All right, this was a fun question. We got it from Callisto Griffith, and this came across email. And I asked for a question. No, this was on Facebook.
Okay.
What are all the top Texas favorite restaurants for our former presidents? And I was like, oh, that's kind of fun.
Oh, that is fun.
All right, so there's a trivia question for you. How many Texas-born presidents have there been?
Okay. I'm gonna say 7.
7?
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're a little wrong. Yes. I think if you actually tried to name them, you wouldn't even get close to 7.
I just guessed.
I know, but think about it. So we have only two. We've got LBJ and Eisenhower.
Well, I thought maybe they were born here and then they migrated.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
Did you say
Calvin
Texas?
Coolidge,
You said Texas.
Grover
born.
Cleveland. Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
so 2.
Okay, all right. Texas born.
All right.
But we have the Bushes are often associated with Texas. So I did some research. LBJ's favorite restaurant, at least in Austin, probably throughout Texas, was Cisco's, the Mexican staple over in East Austin.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So he would go to Cisco's often, both during his presidency and his time in Texas. So he loved kind of that greasy Mexican food. Eisenhower did not have a favorite Texas restaurant, but his favorite dish was beef stew. He's our other Texas-born president.
All right.
He was born in Denison, but he only lived there till he was 2, and then he was really raised in Kansas. So he doesn't really even consider himself a Texan, but he is born here. H.W. Bush. I found a couple. He spent a lot of time in Bryan College Station.
Yep.
And so Cafe Capri was his favorite in downtown Bryan.
I have eaten at Cafe Capri.
Evidently, Mrs. Bush ordered across the menu. He always got the same thing. Eggplant Parmesan.
Interesting.
I know. No, I'm not a fan of eggplant Parmesan that much. Nope.
I tried to make it once, and I don't think I nailed it.
No,
Maybe we should go to Cafe Capri.
Cafe Capri and try it. All right, and then, but he lived in Houston, in all the later years of his life, and his favorite restaurant there was Christie's Seafood and Steaks. Near the Galleria. It's kind of an older school seafood spot. And to this day, they leave a table open for him and Barbara to come and eat. It's got a little memorial and a candle on it. I thought that's pretty sweet.
That is sweet.
And his friends who he would eat with still get together and like they have their little like old man coffee club. So that's pretty fun.
Oh, I like that.
All right. Now W.
Okay.
W. Not born in Texas.
Okay.
But where, like, he lives in, you know where he lives? He lives in Texas.
He lives in Dallas.
There you go.
Yes.
Dallas.
Well, wait, I think I know of a restaurant that he frequents often.
Okay. In Dallas?
No, Crawford.
Oh, Crawford.
The Crawford Cafe.
There was the cafe, which moved to McGregor, I believe. The Crawford Cafe that he frequented, it isn't open anymore, unfortunately.
Sad day.
So it's all like... I know, because that was when he was going to the Crawford Ranch all the time. Remember all that chaos?
Yes.
So Anyway, that's a rabbit trail. But one of his favorite, if not his favorite, is called Rise Number One, and they specialize in souffle.
Okay.
It's like a souffle restaurant. The whole restaurant, it's souffle.
What?
And he loves the crab souffle.
And that's in Dallas?
In Dallas. Souffle sounds bougie. It's perfect for Dallas.
So
I'm not even sure what souffle is.
Isn't it French?
It's definitely
it's
French.
Definitely French.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they make them in the little ramekins, and it puffs up real big.
It's like a savory
Super bouge.
meringue.
Yeah, savory meringue. There you go. That is George Bush, W. Bush himself.
I feel like we need to watch Ratatouille to kind of get an idea. I think he makes a souffle.
Oh, there you go.
Ratatouille.
A side souffle. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
So he was actually eating at souffle when he received the call that Osama bin Laden had been killed. He was enjoying a crab souffle.
Wow.
So I think if you just want to sit and eat souffle all day, you'll eventually see W.
I mean,
coming to get a souffle.
Let's do that too.
Okay. All right. Done. All right. And then here's our last question from Molly Borders. Have you ever been to Thurber, Texas? And the answer to that is
Absolutely.
yes. Yeah.
Yep.
You and I went to Thurber on our way back from Stephenville or something like that.
Yeah.
And it is an old brick town. They had a big brick factory there. And now it's a ghost town. There's still one smokestack, and there's an incredible restaurant called New York Hill. Do you remember this? And they serve, like, to kick the meal off, you don't just get like baskets of homemade rolls. You get homemade cinnamon rolls.
It was amazing.
It was the jam. It was so good.
It's definitely worth the drive there. Like, if
New
you're
York Hill
even
restaurant.
near
Country Cafe, absolutely delicious. But like, if it's hard to resist chips and salsa before your meal, think of how hard it is to resist cinnamon rolls. Like, yeah, and you're like, when am I going to be back here? These are amazing. You just eat them all.
You indulge.
Yeah. So we've never done an episode on Thurber, but we plan to at some point. We just got back from a town very close to Thurber called Eastland. Like, got back yesterday. So hopefully. All right. Now, fan rants and musings. People on the internet who just needed to tell us something.
Hey, Daytripper, I got a bone to pick with you. Oh my goodness, it's the Daytripper. We love your show.
All right. So this one, this made me giggle. You're going to think it's inappropriate, but
you
it made me giggle.
Are you a giggler?
Oh, if you've been married to me long enough,
Maybe
you know
a little bit.
my giggle tendencies. So this came on YouTube. We asked the question, we as the Daytripper want to hold a Guinness Book of World Record. We want to make the Guinness Book, and I don't know what to do. So I asked fans what to do. People had different ideas, stuff that I can't do, like eat the largest chicken fried steak. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do that. I need something low-hanging fruit that's easy. And this guy, Mr. Del Galdi, said, just poop in every city in Texas. That would probably be a record. There's 1,200 cities, though, so maybe counties is a better goal.
Oh,
awful.
that's special. Okay.
But it's a natural thing. Everyone can do it. It's just a matter of, can you put in the miles? And we can put in the miles. So,
Right.
You got a better example? You got a better idea?
I haven't thought about it, but
All
I
right.
can come up with something better
Better
than
than
that.
Mr. Del Galdi's? Okay. And this is going back to the fans because this was the only one that I thought maybe is achievable. We need a Guinness Book of World Records. We need a record in the Guinness Book. All right? Think about it. Leave a comment. Post something. All right, fan rants and musings. We like reading ones because not everybody has a good opinion of us. This one's from Steve Landtroop. You're one of my favorite shows, but that said, you missed one of the local iconic attractions in Frisco. The Frisco Snow Cone Lady. I couldn't believe it.
could
I know.
you?
I'm awful. I'm just terrible. But I was like, I'm kind of sad about this. She's been around 50 years, and she's a legend. Locally owned, same family. Hard to imagine how you missed it. You were literally right next to it. I'm like, he said, sadly, you're not as good as you think you are. You've gotten mired in the easy and complacent. And I realize you can't make every place and do everything. And I'm sure you get plenty of complaints. But this was a big one. We get it. You just needed to know. Sincerely, Steve Landtroop.
He sounds sincere.
He does sound sincere. I bet you he's secretly married to the snow cone lady.
You know, that's hard, right? Like,
Yeah.
you do the research, you talk to people, you get your places, and there's some pivots for sure. But I mean, I wish you could have gone, but there's a time to go back.
I wonder if she's 50 years. Maybe the restaurant's been there 50 years. I wonder if there's one lady who's literally been there for 50 years.
That's incredible.
That would be pretty epic.
Yeah.
It was Steve, I'm going to own it. That was a big fail.
Oh, thank you,
Major
Steve.
fail. But the truth is, I don't look for snow cone places. Like,
True.
we've eaten at a couple of them, and honestly, at the end of the day, like, a snow cone, almost all snow cone places are the same.
Yeah.
There's some that are good and some that are bad, but the good ones are kind of all similar.
You know, I do recall, didn't you, maybe was it Corpus Christi? It was one of the first places that was doing a scoop of ice cream within the snowball.
And that was
cone.
bomb.
And
That
so,
was good.
you know, that's something, but you look for a story. And man, I wish we would have known about her.
This lady needs to be on Texas Country Reporter. That's like a
Yeah.
perfect thing. I bet you she has. I bet you she has.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Steve. We're going to own up to that one. All right. Here's our last thing. And this kind of took me for a loop, and I thought maybe you would have heard about this. We went to McGregor. We were at an antique shop, and there was this tea set under blacklight. And I made a joke that you can find everything at this antique store, even tea sets for your next rave tea party. Because you put the it's like old granny tea set, but if you put the black light on it, it glows. And I was like, who needs that? What grannies are having tea parties under black light?
Okay.
And then, so he wrote in, this is from Matt Smith. He said, oh, that glowing glass is actually called Vaseline glass.
Okay.
It's radioactive and glows like that when it's put under black light. I said, what radioactive antiques? And sure enough, I did some research. So it can be called Vaseline glass, uranium glass, or atomic glass. And this is before World War II. They were mixing uranium into the sand to make the glass.
Whoa.
So some of it actually is quite harmful.
Oh,
and so they
no.
recommend that you get a Geiger counter, which measures radioactivity of stuff. And if you have a piece, you need to measure its radioactivity to make sure it's safe enough to have in your home and to drink out of. I was like,
my
what?
Goodness.
And it's radioactive antiques.
Yes.
For sale at all of these different antique stores. So most people said, though, most of it is fine, absolutely fine. It's not, you're not at risk of giving much radiation off, whether you're holding the piece or it's just sitting in your kitchen by the shelf. Neither you or customers at your antique shop. I found some antique forums like where people asking, you know, is this dangerous? Can I sell this to customers? What? Hey, you have to wait. No. Go stand over there till I'm done. I'm almost done. Okay? You gonna leave? Almost done, Bubba. Okay? So they said, this is what the antique forum said. If you accidentally ingest or inhale dust or small chips that happen to break off, you're not at risk of dying of the radiation, but you probably have other problems because you just swallowed a chip of glass.
Okay, fair.
Which, yeah, it's fair.
Yes.
I was like, I didn't know this, though. That's kind of cool.
It's cool and interesting. Like,
Makes me want some.
Yeah. Well, how many people are using them? I feel like most people, if they have the antique, it's on display, right?
Yeah.
But who knows?
Shepherd.
So this is actually a common conversation. So Chet finds these treasures. And then it's interesting, it's exciting, but it's kind of like, please don't bring it home.
You know what? I think I told you. I almost the other day, like I came this close to buying a full buffalo hide.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, it would have filled up this entire room. And the hair was like this thick. I don't know. I wanted it so bad. But I literally thought, like, my filter said, Chet, what are you going to do with it? And what is Laura going to say when you bring home a buffalo hide? And you would have said, that's cool.
I would have.
What are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
And I had no answer.
Which is fine. I mean, I think that's what's been exciting about, like, all the years you've been traveling. And there's lots of treasures, though, right? So some you have traded with people, given away some things. But, I mean, I don't know, should you open a museum?
Oh, when I die. When I die. I gotta wait to be dead.
You can't because you're dead. So let's not.
I'm gonna put that in my will. If they want any money, they have to open a museum in my honor. That sounds weird. I'm gonna have way too much junk. I mean, I'm collecting the most. Like my great grandkids are gonna have all this junk lying around, and they're not gonna know what to do with it.
No.
So it's gonna go in a dumpster.
Oh,
and I'm okay with that.
Well, there are some treasures, but the buffalo, man, like. I really, like, where would that go?
I have no idea.
Just thick fur.
But you know what? You're about to be the proud co-owner of a uranium teacup the next time I find one out in the wild.
Oh, man. I'm so excited.
Lucky you. Lucky you. All right, guys. Y'all, thank you, Mrs. Tripper, for coming back.
Oh, my goodness.
Been wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to our sponsors, Don Hewlett Chevrolet, Colin County History Museum. Y'all, please go look them up. Support them because they support our show. Thank you guys for listening. Laura, say your goodbyes.
Oh, well, via con Dios, amigos.
That's what I say. You can't say via con Dios, amigos.
But where's one?
Oh,
so
okay.
it's okay.
Then you already said it. I love you so much.